Okay, here we go. So we have two components. Please understand, this is the goal that you're trying to do. You are trying to figure out how to get a resultant vector from two components that are not perpendicular. So you have a 2.1 going like this at 37 degrees, and then you have a 5.6 going like that. Notice that the components always have to be tip to tail. You have to get the resultant, which will be start to finish. But before you do that, you first have to know the components that are perpendicular. Okay, what I mean by that, so we have a perpendicular component going from here to there, all right, and here to there. You got to get your vertical and horizontal, or your purely east and your purely north components. Okay, now you always want to have your list of givens. So I would always urge you, and I'm telling you, it's going to be saving time for you if you list a north piece and an east piece or an east column so that you can start keeping track of it. Okay? Remember, if I give you an angle, the number I'm giving you with that angle has to be the hypotenuse because this is physics class. So the 5.6 here has to be the hypotenuse, okay? And the 2.1 here has to be the hypotenuse. That's the angle, and angles are always back to the horizontal, okay? So this piece right here is going to be, using SOHCAHTOA, hypotenuse times the sine of the angle. That's the opposite side. Okay? And I get that that is going to be 1.26. Get a different number. Okay? This one right here is going to be 2.1 times cosine of the angle. All right? And I get that to be 1.68. Once I get my pieces here, I want to put them over here, north. So I have 1.26 here. 1.68 there. All right? Same with this one, the 5.6, I'm going to get that component. All right? 5.6 times sine of the angle of 11 degrees is going to be 1.07. So this piece right here is 1.07. Okay? This piece right here is, again, cosine. So just do second adder and change your sine to cosine. And I get that to be basically 5.50. 5.50. Okay? So then I go down here and I list those components. My north, 1.07. My east, 5.50. Okay? And I total them up. I add them up down below. All right? So I have this added up. All right? This added up. So here's what my totals are. Okay? So now, what's the new one going to be? Well, think of my arrow. My arrow is going to be start to finish. So my arrow is going from here to there, right? Now, this other piece, let's take this arrow and slide it down so we see what we need to move around. Here's my arrow, okay? This 1.08 plus this 0.5 or this 5.50 is going to be right here. All right? So the 7.18 is right there. All right? The 1.07 and the 1.26, which adds up to 2.33, is right there. So now, to get my angle, or I'm sorry, to get my hypotenuse in question number one, I'm going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right? Again, so a squared plus b squared will equal c squared. Okay, to get my angle here, I'm going to do inverse tangent. Inverse tangent of opposite over adjacent. Again, so to think of the hypotenuse, if this is my c, right, doing Pythagorean, a quick way to think of it is this will be the square root of a squared plus b squared, or my 2.33 squared. plus my 7.18 squared. Okay, already square rooted. If you put in your calculator like that, don't forget your square there, even though it's hard to read. Okay, that'll get your hypotenuse. To get my angle right here, I'm going to do inverse tangent. Theta is always, because we're doing the cheap way in physics class, to get my angle, I'm always giving you verticals and horizontals. Theta is going to be inverse tangent of my opposite over my adjacent. My opposite is always my vertical piece, which is 2.33 in this case. And my adjacent is 7.18. Make sure that your calculator is set to degree mode. It should have been to get these. It needs to be to get those as well. Okay,